everyone, this is Manjunath. Welcome back to this session. In this session, we will be learning on computing and ethics, session 1. So, in this chapter, the chapter outline goes like this. We'll discuss on introduction, computing ethics, major ethical issues, hacking and piracy. Introduction. Ethics play an important role in our life and way of doing things. In general, we may define ethics as a field of study that is concerned with questions of value, that is, making judgments about good or bad in a given situation. The standards, values, morals, principles, etc. make ethics that guides one's decision or action on general when there is no clear right or wrong answer. For example, how would you decide whether a person should live or die when he or she is suffering from an incurable disease? Ethics guides one's behavior in every field of life, whether business, education, social behavior, or using computers. This chapter is dedicated to various issues related to computers, computing, and ethics. Before discussing these issues, let us first know about what is computer ethics means. So, computer ethics. Computers are capable of doing many things as per the instruction given to it. This quality makes computers a very useful tool because the capability of computer offers many strong temptations. We must be especially careful of using them wisely. It is not that computer we should be concerned about, but rather than the people who lives who can affect by our actions. Computer ethics refers in general to the behavior and way of thinking of computer in situation where choice can affect the dignity and well-being of others. Ethics is not about rules or about code of conduct, rather it is about making free choice because ethical behavior implies free choice. It cannot be captured in rule, but as responsible individuals, we make a promise to abide by it. Now, software ethics. Software makes a computer usable. Without software, a computer remains just as a machine. Software enables computer user to accomplish many different tasks through computers. Therefore, while using softwares, it becomes a moral responsibility to use and to ensure that their usage of software is ethical or not. In other words, the user should make sure that they are not working with unauthorized copy of the software. But one must know that unauthorized copying of software is illegal. It deprives the software developers of a fair return to their work, and this unauthorized copying indirectly harms the community. It results in price rises, reduction in future support, and inhibits the development of new software products. These are about computer ethics and software ethics. Now let us move on to the major ethical issues. So, dear students, these days we can easily say that our society is information society and our era is about information era. As well, all all know that information is a mean of acquiring knowledge. In other words, we can say that information forms the intellectual capital for a person or body. However, there are many ethical issues involved with the usage of availability of information. Now, individual rights to privacy. So there are three types of individual rights to privacy. They are collecting information, storing information, and distributing information. Let us discuss one by one. The right to privacy also involves the decision pertaining to questions like what information about one's or one's association must be with a person revealing to others, under what condition, with what safeguard, what things can people keep to them and not be forced to reveal to others. With the growth of information technology and with its enhanced capacity of surveillance, communication, computation, storage, and retrieval, it can easily be used to invade one's privacy. Also, with the increase of value of information in decision making, this threats becomes more serious. Now, ethical issues pertaining to this involves that one must not use computer to collect, store or distribute information that is owned by someone else. That is, one must not invade one's privacy. This is about individual rights to privacy. Now coming back to the next slide, hacking and privacy or hacking or piracy. There are 11 types of piracy available. The first one is spamming. Before you implement protection measures for your computers, you must be aware of forms of attacks that hackers may launch. In the following lines, we are going to discuss different forms of attacks that generally takes place. The first one is spamming. So what is spamming? Spamming refers to the sending of bulk mail by an identified or unidentified source. In non-malicious form, bulk advertisement means incent of many accounts. In malicious form, the attackers keep on sending bulk mails until the mail server runs out of disk space. This is about spamming. The second one is computer virus. Computer viruses are malicious codes or programs that cause damage to data and files on a system. Virus can attack any part of a computer's software such as boot block, operating system, system area, files and application program macros. The third one is worms. The worm is a self-replicating program which eats up the entire disk space or memory. A worm keeps on creating its copies until all the disk space or memory is filled. The fourth one goes like this: malware. Malware is a general type of virus. It refers to the virus, worms, spyware or adware, etc. In other words, it is unwanted software that someone else want to run on your computer. Malware infects your computer, making it behave in a way which you do not approve of. The next one is spyware. Spyware is a software which is installed on your computer to spy on your activities and report this data to people willing to pay for it. These are used to spy on some other illegal or legal purposes. The sixth one goes like this: adware. These are the program that delivers unwanted ads to your computer. They consume your network bandwidth. The seventh one is Trojan horses. A Trojan horses is a program that appears harmless but actually performs malicious functions such as deleting or damaging files. Sixth one is Sweeper. This is another malicious program used by hackers. It sweeps, that is, deletes all the data from your system. That is very dangerous. So the next one is denial of services. This type of attacks eats up all the resources of a system and the system or application comes to an halt. Passing or password guessing. Most hackers crack or guess passwords of the system accounts and gain entry into the computer, that is the remote computer system. The next one is phishing. It is a criminally fraudulent process of attempting to acquire sensitive information such as username, password, credit card information and account details. Let us move to the next slide, that is preventive maintenance and troubleshooting. So there are four types of preventive maintenance: ensuring timely backup after fixed interval of time, tracing users history to know his or her intention, system scanning at regular intervals, and the last one is changing your password frequently. Let us discuss one by one in detail. So ensuring timely backup after fixed interval of time. For instance, critical data files may be backed up daily, some less critical files may be backed up once in a week or once in fortnight or even once in month depending upon the types of data they store. Second one, tracing user's history to his or her intention. Whatever commands, operations user carry out to be traced out from their history logs, be ensured that every user's history gets stored and then later reviewed to their intention can be very fruitful. System scanning at regular intervals. Systems should be scanned at regular intervals as a malicious program, software or virus can be scanned and then removed before it corrupts. The fourth one is very important, my dear students, changing your password frequently. So this is to ensure that any malicious user doesn't succeed in cracking your password. Before he gets successful in doing so, it requires many attempts and successes or guesses. Change your password for your data security. This is about preventive maintenance and troubleshooting. The last topic I am going to discuss is 10 commandments of computer ethics. Finally, let us learn the famous 10 commandments that we are encouraged by most computers and professional societies. In the following lines, we are giving 10 commandments issued by the Computer Ethics Institute. Though not use a computer to harm other people, though not interfere with other people's computer work, though not snoop around in others people's computer files, though not use a computer to steal, though not use a computer to bear false witness, and you should not copy or use software for which you have not paid. You should not use your people's computer resource without authorization or proper compensation. You should not appropriate other people's intellectual output. You should think about the social consequences of the program you are writing or the system you are designing. You should always use the computer in ways that ensure consideration and respect for your fellow humans. So this is about computing and ethics. The keywords of this chapter is hacking, piracy, spam, computer virus, worm, Trojan horse, sweeper, spyware, adware, malware, phishing. Thank you so much for watching, my dear students. As this chapter is completely belonging to the theory part, hope you have understood this chapter and see you in the next session. Thank you so much.